My name is John Hawkins, and I've been president of Engineers Without Borders since the beginning.
My name is Kurt Nelson. I'm the faculty advisor with the Walla Walla University chapter of Engineers Without Borders.
My name is Louis Yaw, and I am a professor at Walla Walla University.
My name is Amber Mitchell, and I'm a senior civil engineer, and I was involved in this project as the student lead for the design team.
My name is Kimberly Coggins, and I am the secretary for the Engineers Without Borders Club.
My name is Jorge Campos, and I am the treasurer of EWB.
My name is Alex English, and I came along on the trip to Luis Garcia to do videography and photography.
My name is Erica Amott, and I'm a member of the Walla Walla University chapter of Engineers Without Borders, and I just returned from a trip to Honduras.
My role on this project was to work with coordination and organization of the different parties involved, figuring out exactly who would be contributing what to the project, and making sure everything got done.
When I went to Honduras, I was the translator. I translated for Dr. Yaw.
Well, I was the project mentor for Luis Garcia, and my students and I helped design the 5 classrooms that we built on the project.
In 1998, Hurricane Mitch destroyed a number of communities along the Honduran coast, and one such community was relocated, whole community and even a few extras, to the community of Luis Garcia, a little bit inland from the coast. That's the community we've been working with to help. A few years ago, the community of Luis Garcia decided of their own volition that they were tired of not having a place to send their kids for school. So they started building 2 classrooms for their own kids. They weren't able to finish because they didn't have enough resources. Another NGO named Sepulo came in and finished those 2 classrooms and built 3 more to at least start providing a place for the kids to attend school. It still was not nearly enough. The kids have been meeting outside under coconut trees, which, though it sounds nice, is actually dangerous because coconuts have fallen on children's heads. 2 more classrooms have been constructed since we first went down in 2008 by another NGO, but the school is still way over capacity.
The project consisted of building 5 classrooms for a school in the community of Luis Garcia. The school just needed more room because the children had classes outside. They had to move around with the shade as the shade moved throughout the day because they didn't have a classroom to be in.
We, as Engineers Without Borders, especially here at Walla Walla University, feel that education is a very important part in a student or child's development. And so when we went down to Honduras and we saw this community overrun with students and not enough places to house them, we felt a burden to supply them with additional classrooms.
A lot of people that hear about our project don't realize this, but our group didn't actually construct the building. That was the responsibility of the community themselves, so that they could have a sense of ownership in the work that they did. They built the 5 classrooms, and they did even more than that. The masons, the electricians in the community built the building, but there was a lot of support they received from the rest of the community. The mission of Engineers Without Borders is not to go build something for a community, but rather to go build something with the community, and in the best case scenario, to just empower them to build it for themselves. In this project, we went down to provide engineering expertise. We provided some plans to improve on some local construction practices, and we provided some external materials. But the community themselves built the classrooms.
The community of Luis Garcia is quite a poor community, so by educating his children, we hope to give them more opportunities.
Our project basically doubles the capacity for classrooms at the elementary school. And we're providing more opportunities for kids who can't even go to school now to have a chance at the first 6 grades of education.
The classrooms that we've just provided will allow hundreds of more children to go to school, to learn basic reading, writing, math skills, useful for accounting, things that will help them to navigate the world they live in and hopefully not get ripped off with someone who can count better than they can.
We also got to interact with those children a little bit while we were there. I think it was a good educational experience for them as well as us, because they got to see people from another country who were interested in them and their school. The people of Luis Garcia were obviously very interested in their children, and so I admired them very much for that. I've often thought that one of the best ways to measure how good people are is how they treat their children. And so being there, seeing how hard they worked, I really think it was a demonstration of how these people really had an interest in educating their children, and they were very excited about having this project completed.
The people of Luis Garcia were very grateful to have us there. They were very warm, very hardworking. They contributed a lot to the project, both emotionally and in their resources and labor. And they treated us very well from the time we arrived to the time we left. And this is all people, the laborers, the families, even the government officials that we worked with there.
The workers there were amazing. I was very often impressed with how hard they worked. It was definitely the case that they were very interested in the school. The other thing that was very impressive about them was, even though we worked many long hours into the night on some occasions, they were still very, very happy. They were laughing, they were joking with each other. And also, as we worked with them, I was really impressed with how congenial they were with us. They were not upset that we were helping or sometimes guiding them to do the work differently than they were accustomed to. They were very receptive to our help, and they became our friends.
Engineers Without Borders is really cool in that it encourages students to take on projects that they're going to see from beginning through completion. And in doing so, it just expands their range of knowledge. It's not just a theoretical assignment that they take on, but it's a practical one that they will at some point see built. And that is really cool. It's not something that you can fabricate in a classroom. It's something that goes beyond the classroom and into the real world. And that's something that I think is really important for a lot of students to experience.
I think one of the primary benefits of taking students on trips like this, especially students who have done the structural design themselves, is that they get an opportunity to see how the construction side of the whole operation works, and they get feedback to make them better designers in the future.
This project was the project that I undertook for my senior project, which I need to graduate here from Walla Walla University. And in doing so, I invested a lot of time and effort into the actual physical design of the building, as well as a lot of time and effort into the paperwork and all the other things that come along with a project of this magnitude. But it was really cool because, unlike the other students in my classes who picked a hypothetical building to design or a hypothetical water system or something like that, my building actually was going to be designed. And so I couldn't just pick a part of it. We had to design it from start to finish. And then I actually got to see it implemented, which was really cool. And it's not something that every student can say they've seen done. It's a well-known fact that all mission projects require vast amounts of funding. But what's unique about working with Engineers Without Borders is you're not only funding a new school or a new building, but you're also funding a very practical component of the education for the students that are involved in the design. It's so affirming to be able to see this project go from a dream to a reality. And I think that that's something that is really going to help both me and other engineers in the future.
I originally decided to take engineering because I wanted to be able to use it to help people in other countries.
Students who get to work with Engineers Without Borders get to experience the entire picture. They get to see beyond what happens in North America, and they get to see what happens in other countries. Helps broaden their worldview, which is very important for all people, not just engineers.
As a student, the trip impacted me in ways that I didn't think it would. I remember about 2 years ago, before I joined Engineers Without Borders, Dr. Nelson told me about it, and I had never thought about using engineering to help other people. But when he told me that, I knew this was the club I was gonna join definitely. And little did I know that 2 years later I would be down in Honduras doing what I never thought I would. And it has definitely changed the way I think about engineering and using my skills to help other people.
I'm really glad I had the opportunity to go down on this trip. It has opened my eyes to the ways of doing international projects, and I feel like I can attack my future with more knowledge and a better understanding of what I'm getting myself into. And I'm really excited about future possibilities.
It's been a really exciting process for me and shown me that this is really what I want to do with my life.
With these 5 classrooms, we've given these kids much better opportunity for education, but we've also created for ourselves some future projects. For instance, for 500 children, they have 4 working latrines.
Though we feel good about having been able to go down and construct 5 new classrooms for the School of Luis Garcia, there is so much left to be done. And to continue working to help the community and the children of Luis Garcia, we need your help.
We saw firsthand how the students at Luis Garcia were positively impacted by the work we did. And yet we have a lot to do. You being a part of this will take us a long way to being able to accomplish the dreams of those kids there.
If you would like to help, you can donate online or by calling the Walla Walla University Engineering Department. Thank you so much for your support.
¿Ya les gusta la escuela? Sí. Dilo a las 3. Me gusta la escuela. 1, 2, 3.